Welcome back to Press Review. Let's start by taking a look at the front pages in the Middle East English language press. The Jerusalem Post says Prime Minister Netanyahu has launched a Computer for Every Child programme. The paper also reports on Scarlett Johansson resigning from her position as Oxfam ambassador due to controversy over her new connection to a firm with a West Bank factory. The article says drinks brand SodaStream plans to bring Johansson to Israel this year. Gulf News reports that the UAE will end a 19-year absence from cricket's premier one-day tournament. The paper also says former Delhi Police Commissioner Ved Marwah has put the Congress party in trouble by stating that he was forced to abandon his probe into the 1984 anti-Sikh riots. The Kurdish Globe says Kurdistan Region President Masoud Barzani attended two high-level discussion sessions at the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, on events in Syria and the wider Middle East and North Africa region. Talks mainly focused on improving bilateral relations as well as the security challenges facing Iraq in particular, Syria and the region in general. From Beirut, the Daily Star has a headline, "Time to tackle more difficult issues with Iran," IAEA head says. After recent progress with Iran, it is time to tackle more difficult nuclear issues, such as allegations of past weapons work, the head of the UN atomic watchdog told Agence France Presse in an interview. 2 years of talks between the IAEA and Iran over these accusations went nowhere. Now let's take a look at the top headlines from UK papers. The Independent says Labour MPs are to lose their one-third share of the vote when their party chooses its leaders under sweeping reforms to be pushed through by Ed Miliband. The move will be seen as an attempt to placate the trade unions, who will also lose their 33% slice of the Electoral College. Candidates for the leadership will need to win nominations from about 25% of Labour MPs, double the current 12.5% threshold. The Scottish Herald says there has been a slump in the number of pupils enrolling for exams in Scotland. The paper also says over 100 Tory MPs voted to give ministers rather than judges the final say over whether deportation would breach the human rights of foreign criminals. It comes as a major blow to Cameron's authority over his own party. The Telegraph shows a photo of Royal Marines looking out over Somerset to decide what sort of aid is needed following floods. The paper also says the number of girls seeking a university place this year is more than a third larger than that of boys, leading to a wider gender gap in education. The Guardian mentions the ongoing Amanda Knox court case, saying Knox and her ex-boyfriend had been charged a second time with the murder of Meredith Kircher. The paper also reports on the culture of disbelief in rape claims, as some police forces are writing off up to a third of all allegations reported to them. Now let's take a look at the top stories in international papers. The Moscow Times says plans to free float the ruble by 2015 have been scrapped, and the central bank on Thursday pledged unlimited interventions to keep the ruble firm. The paper also said Sochi is unprepared for the Olympics, as chronic delays have afflicted Olympic construction from the start. The Washington Post describes billions spent on highway infrastructure in Afghanistan as a crumbling investment, saying the $4 billion projects were once a symbol of promise in Afghanistan. The paper also says the federal shutdown slowed economic growth at the end of 2013. The Ukrainian Day shows a photo of a cabinet meeting, saying, "We suggest that the media, the opposition and above all, the government turn their gun sights by 180 degrees. The China Daily says more Chinese are travelling to destinations for the Chinese New Year. More than 70% of mainland tourists plan to travel overseas during the 7-day holiday, which starts January 31st. The paper also says Hong Kong has imposed sanctions on the Philippines, citing its concern over the country's refusal to officially apologise for the 2010 Manila hostage crisis. And for more updates, please visit levant.tv. Thanks for watching. We'll be back with you on Monday. Bye for now.